Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? I was in here chatting before the show. Took yesterday off, had some things had to be attended to, adulting and such. I'm sure you understand, and I'm sure you know I missed you all. Can everybody hear me okay? Hello, Sonia. Just got something that popped up and it said, Jules has been a member for 7 months. Thank you, Jules. Jules has been hanging out for 7 months. That's huge. Sonia said she can hear me. Nostit Pote said, yes, ma'am, loud and clear. So how did everyone's weekend go? Mine was actually cooler. It's actually 60 degrees here right now. The forecast didn't have any 90s for the week. That doesn't mean it still can't happen, especially no upper 90s. Who is in the way of this hurricane? We actually have a room in Discord where Lone Wolf is tracking it for us. So I've been checking in with Lone Wolf quite a bit. Is anybody in the way of this hurricane? Because it's nasty. It looks awful. All of my teams over the weekend lost. So boo for me. Chiefs lost. Sooners lost. Tulsa Hurricanes lost. Got all those shirts out and clean for nothing. Mama said she is in the way of it. Are you guys evacuating or are you sticking it out? Exactly, Aaron. Go Sooners. Has anybody already left? Like, are you in your car right now listening? I'm worried about you guys. This is serious business. Let me see. I'm looking through here right now. Hello, Mark Molina. Mark's my neighbor. Sort of. I thought I just saw someone saying, Makeup and Mayhem. You said you're preparing for it. I did not realize you were in Florida. We have quite a few people in Florida. Layla said, hunkering down. Okay, that's like us with tornadoes here. When they tell us it's about to hit you, you're like, yeah, come on, I've heard that before. All right, guys, be safe, be safe. Let us know what we can do for you. Definitely praying for you. You got that. Hands down, because everything I'm seeing, nasty. And I love Florida. So besides that, we got some comments to go through, things that came out over the weekend. I think I've gotten through all the emails. If you didn't get an email back from me yet, I promise you're on my list. Before we get to it and bring our friend Jay up, who believes this story about the secret cremation? I'm just curious as to who believes this and who doesn't, because I've gotten a lot of emails, instant messenger, Discord DMs where people are like, I don't believe that this even happened. So just curious, we're going to get through it together like we always do. Good morning, Robert Ryan. Good morning. I think the main topic is whether this cremation happened or not. It's too weird for me. Who wouldn't want answers? Who wouldn't want answers? Mama Kay said, I think she was. Hang on. Jakey says, I bet they have had a secret cremation. I don't see Dad. That's the thing. I don't see Dad being cool with it. I just don't. When he came across JPL at one of the community meetings, basically sloughed off all the kids, made it clear he has nothing to do with the GoFundMe, didn't even understand what it was for. We saw the exchange with him and Adventures of Purpose on the beach. I just don't think he would be cool with this. I don't know the man personally. We did hear about Grandpa on the beach when the laptop was recovered, and Grandpa used the word evidence. You mean there was evidence in the lake? Ah. Let's see what our buddy Jay thinks about this. What's up, Jay?
Good morning, Brooks. What's up?
Just trying to make sense of the unsensible things that make no sense. Hello, UFC Frog. Hey, UFC Frog, I don't know what happened, and it showed you were blocked. I was getting a lot of messages saying I was blocked. I was blocked. I was blocked. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened either because I didn't see anything going down in chat. There goes my damn ice maker again. Can't get a sliver of ice, but the minute I'm doing a show, it goes into overtime. So, okay, good. So got you unblocked. Some people, I mean, our blocked list, honestly, is like a group of 10. Really, we don't have any problems here. Knock on wood. Don't start your shit today with me. So, just to catch up, how was your weekend, Jay?
Weekend was good. Nicer weather here. It's also 60 degrees today, and really don't have too much to complain about. Fall is probably my favorite time of the year, and I welcome it with open arms.
But you're kind of in the same boat as me, weather-wise. There's no like pumpkin spice or anything going on. I saw this meme the other day and it fit perfectly. When you come from hotter climates, basically they just put the pumpkins by the watermelon at the grocery store.
Indeed.
We don't really have the same experience that everybody else has when it comes to fall.
Yeah, just within the last, well, for a while now, seems like fall has really been like early winter as far as like when it actually starts getting cooler. But this year is kind of on track so far. We'll see if it lasts because it could be 100 degrees next week. You never know.
You never know, but I did see it for myself. No 90s in the forecast, but just right there on the cusp. I think we have a couple of 89s, so it could crawl up there. Well, before we get to the comments, did you read the Sun's article yet about the secret cremation?
I've seen the secret cremation, and certainly have heard a lot of chatter about it. And I wouldn't put it past old Lindsay to do that. But at the same time, it does raise questions, and it could also not be true. I mean, we really don't have much to go on as far as facts with anything in this case. So I would take it for a grain of salt at this moment until there's really anything more to go on.
Well, I mean, for the secret cremation to have happened, then...
Yeah, one of two things would have need to have happened. One being they've deemed it an accident, it's over and done with, no foul play. Or two, foul play was involved and someone has been indicted.
Or a person of interest.
Yeah, well, I guess if I'm looking along the lines of toxicology. However, if toxicology was not needed for COD and there was some, God forbid, blunt force trauma or anything like that, strangulation, God forbid, I hate even talking about it. If there was an exact manner of cause of death determined, then yeah, I don't think you would need to wait on toxicology and the body could possibly be released.
Yeah. I'm just, and I was also thinking, every state, I know they differ a little bit. They have laws. I know people are like, there's something going on in this town. It's how they do things in small towns. Well, there's still state laws. So the last we heard from Nevada County, is it still under investigation? Those are their words. It's still under investigation with the Highway Patrol and with them. Even over the weekend of the memorial, they gave a little bit of a clip to, what's it called? Was it KCRA? It wasn't the Sun. It was one of their local news stations in Sacramento. And here, I think I have it right here. I do. And they said, while friends and family focus on the life Rodney lived, investigators want to know why and how she died. Okay, so that's the weekend of the memorial. So if you're still wondering why and how she died, how can there be, I just hate the word secret cremation. That's so weird, so dumb. Not saying that we have to know about it, but you're telling the Sun, like they make it sound like an episode of Ozark or something. So weird.
But that could be the Sun's words as well, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. I agree. They went on to say the Nevada County Sheriff's Office is waiting on an autopsy and toxicology results, which could take a couple of weeks. All right, well, this would be about a couple of weeks from the memorial. It will show if anything was in her system and how she died, if she died before she was in the lake or if she died in the car. The California Highway Patrol is determining how the car ended up in the lake. So this came out, I believe, on, well, it was the weekend of the memorial. I think it was on Sunday. I think they had the memorial on Saturday. Either way, there's state laws, and if something's under investigation, they don't release the body. At least they don't here. I don't know how they do it in California. You don't get to make your own rules just because you're a small town.
Yeah, I wish I had more insight on what their processes are with that, because I would agree. You don't make your own rules.
Oh, hang on. Alicia said the cremation is absolutely true. Avery from Tyler's channel, Tyler Feller, called the lodge to get her money back from the reward fund, and Kylie's mother answered the phone. She asked about a funeral. And so
you can have a funeral without a body.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I don't believe it, because everything is par for the course in this insanity. You know, it's nothing makes sense. It's just like I said, in my state, if something's under investigation, now mind you, every state is different. There's no release of a body. It wouldn't happen.
And rightfully so. They need to be definitive in their determination of cause and manner. And not just for our level-headedness, but for anything involving their reputation for any kind of future events.
Or it's just not under investigation anymore. Now, as of last Sunday, it was still under investigation when Adventures with Purpose was on the interview room. Throughout last week, it was still under investigation because Nevada County was messaging people back via Twitter and on Facebook saying this is still under investigation. It's the damnedest thing. So you release a body to be cremated, buried, however you do it, when it's under investigation. I'm just saying here, I mean, I can't say for sure, never heard of such a thing, but every state's different.
It really just points to them almost having made a decision one way or the other.
Well, for sure, her mother is dead set this was an accident, and she's not going to, I think even if they arrested someone today and said this is what happened, I don't think she would believe it. I just don't. And I don't know, nobody would ever, ever, ever want to think about, well, I mean, losing a child would be the worst thing ever. I just couldn't imagine.
Of course.
But you wouldn't want it to be any worse either. The whole thing is really odd to me, the way she's embraced these children, these kids, whether they're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, okay, adults, embrace these adults. I'm not saying it was anybody's job to babysit Kylie. I'm not saying that at all. It's a shit thing to do. It is definitely a shit thing to do, to let somebody who you're blasting all over the internet was just too drunk to even know her own name. I would have a big problem with that person. I would be like, then you should have called me. Then you should have gotten a hold of me, or you should have found somebody who knows me. So
Yeah, it may not have been the friend's job to babysit Kylie, but it certainly was Lindsay's responsibility. And there was some slacking going on there.
Oh, you damn right. She's 16. She was 16 at the time of that party. She was not supposed to be driving after 10 p.m. Damn sure wasn't supposed to be drinking or doing any drugs. And I know that kids will sneak out of the house. When they get a taste of freedom, they're like, I'm smarter than you. I get all of that. But the law is the law. So when Kylie texted her at 11:30 p.m., midnight, 12:15 a.m., whatever, because we've heard different times, that's when mom says, no, you get home right now. You're not supposed to be home after 10. Not, oh, it's okay, she's having fun.
Yeah, and of course we could sit here and what if all day till the cows come home. But why would there not be like, okay, call me when you get in the car when you're on your way? Something to prevent mom from just going to sleep and forgetting all about the conversation for that night.
Yeah. And nothing was odd about the text. It didn't seem like somebody who was inebriated. So first of all, you're not going to be that responsible if you're that messed up. You know what I mean? If you're so messed up, you're going to drive into a lake. You're not going to think to check in with mom, per se.
Yeah, I mean, every kid's different. I know when I was in my rebellious phase, if if I was going to be doing something, or if I was doing something that I knew I shouldn't be doing, I just wouldn't check in at all. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Of course, we didn't have cell phones and things like that readily available when I was in that phase. It's just I would be scared, obviously, if she had been drinking. That would scare me to death. I would go and check for myself. Let's get you home. But if the text message made perfect sense, I wouldn't think, my child's all messed up. But the whole, if a kid gets pulled over, with a new driver's license, then she could have gotten in trouble for that. I'd have been like, no, the law says you got to be at home. You cannot be driving. If you can be a passenger, but you can't be driving. She knew she was driving herself.
Yeah, I don't think that would be something that they were concerned about.
No.
In that small of a town and that short of a drive,
It's 11 p.m. Bob said it's 11 p.m.
What's 11 p.m.?
The curfew. It's
Okay.
Bob, is it a state law or is it just for that county or what? Like kids are not, I don't know if it's 16 to 18. I don't remember now. I don't have it in front of me, that they're not supposed to be driving after a certain time of night. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of neither here or there. I mean, I get it. It's a law. Should have been abided by, but one of many that aren't.
Bob said it's the curfew law for Placer County. 16 to 18 probationary license. I'm just saying, as a parent, you'd be like, no, I can't make my own laws in my house. The law is you're not to be driving after 11 o'clock. And see, that in itself would make you extra worried. Make sure she gets home, so you're going to be awake. Obviously going to have a talk saying, look, we got to plan our time a little bit better. You know what time to be home. You understand that in Placer County, there's a curfew. You would meet that criteria because, well, you're not 18. So she goes to sleep. This has happened to me before where I'm trying to stay awake and I doze off. Thank goodness the kids made it home. Thank God. Thank God. So then the next morning we wake up. There's no Kylie. Kylie's not answering the phone. Kylie's not texting back. My understanding was that was around 7 a.m. So instead of going to the party and immediately start looking for Kylie or calling the police, I heard from her last night. She said she was going to be a little late. She's not in her bed. We go to Starbucks to meet up with the gang, with Scooby-Doo and the gang. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, and just going back to the whole curfew deal, I think that if they're not worried, if the kids or whomever throws these parties out at these campgrounds, if they're not worried about cops coming and checking on them there, I don't think they're going to be worried about cops setting up shop on the side of the road on any of their routes back home. I don't think curfew is a concern, and it's probably barely enforced.
That's
at
what
least there in Placer.
It must not be enforced at all. And if it was just a regular thing, these parties out in the woods, nobody broke it up, nobody thought anything about it, well, then you've got that too. But we go back to this, loom of suspicion that's going over what happened. How did she wind up in the lake? How did she drive herself into the lake? How was the car spotted the next day by roadside assistance? And mom is not having it. This was an accident. Mind your own business. We got this.
Yeah, that's just kind of what makes this so hard to nail down, is the mom's actions and lack of any kind of emotions past like her first interview.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is, in the scheme of things, the curfew law and whatever went on at the party isn't the conversation to be had. So I wasn't trying to get off on that too much. It's just another oddity that you wouldn't be concerned that she's not home when she said she was going to be home, just with that looming over you, that she could get in trouble. Mom could get in trouble for letting her drive after 11 o'clock. Some parents would really worry about that.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, the major thing is Kylie died. We don't know when that car went in the lake. We don't know how it got there. According to Nevada County, it's still under investigation. But a lot of people are saying that in their state, they would release the body once the autopsy and toxicology were done. I mean, the toxicology is not back yet, but they have their samples to run. Let me put it that way.
Well, it could be back. We don't know. We don't know what they have and what they don't have.
Yeah. I'm going to put the link up, see if anybody wants to come up. I really didn't mean to get off on all that curfew thing. Like I said, it's just something else that would, for a parent, that would be something else to say, no, get home. And how late, again, was she going to be? 30, 45 minutes? So that's about what it would take for her to leave then and drive home. From what I'm understanding, that 12 miles with those roads would take about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was 35 minutes at a normal speed. probably normal consideration of time it takes to get from that area to the lodge.
Okay, Mama Kay said in her state, once the autopsy's done, they'll release the body. Okay. Wendy says it takes 2 weeks for toxicology. I remember Harmony Montgomery, they said, well, that was for DNA. Because I know when a local case we have here, it's not really a case, but anyway, they said it would take 6 to 8 weeks for toxicology to come back.
Yeah, I believe they said 6 to 8 in this situation as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the last press conference they had. Could have been 4 to 6, but you're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah, but they're saying November 1st. And like I said they did speak to the son, that it's still under investigation. So that's telling me that there's something they're looking for that they don't have.
Yeah, that is really just, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why a specific date was given November 1st and so far away past toxicology findings. And it leaves me blank. I've drove down every kind of rabbit hole possibility, conspiracy theory that I could think of, and none of it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to go through some comments from the last show with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right, this is in regards to the show last Friday, which was the weirdest thing. For one, I don't know why. I still don't remember why I started at 30 minutes late. I had something to do, which is probably going to bite me in the ass. I still don't know why I started at 30 minutes late. And the whole YouTube shut down. When we got off, I went to other channels. I just saw anybody that was live, whether it was a cooking show or planting radishes or whatever. Everybody was having the same problem. So it wasn't just us. Did we ever figure out what the YouTube shutdown was about on Friday?
I never saw anything. Did you ever hear anything back from Dr. Latina?
No. Unless she's in my email.
Yeah, I've listened to her on some other channels, and she's very educated and always provides some really good insights. So I'm sad that it cut off right when she got on.
Me too. Me too. All right, here we go. I see a few people backstage. As soon as we get through the comments, I'll start bringing you up. Latrell said Plunder contacted Alameda's dive team and asked them how they missed it. And she said that they were given specific instructions by local law enforcement to search 25 feet off the shoreline. That's what the buoy was, and to go stay at that 25-foot line. I got a lot of questions about this. Why only 25 feet? And why did they say, oh, okay, they said 25 feet, so we're not going out any further? The pictures I saw from the Hasty team, they were definitely further out than 25 feet. They were in the middle of the lake. Does anybody know anything about this? Besides the fact of what Plunder was told.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I thought that I'd seen something about them being specific as to looking for a cell phone or any kind of personal belongings. But anybody can throw a cell phone further than 25 feet, so it still doesn't make sense.
No, I don't think that cell phone's in the lake.
Oh, no.
What's his name? With that channel, I can't remember the name of the channel name. He's not the only one out there looking for it. Other people have been out there. A lot of people are trying to find that phone.
Yeah, needle in a haystack. Probably a needle that doesn't even exist anymore.
Marco says phone is not in Prosser Lake. At best, might be in Boca.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've figured as well, at best, considering it's not smashed in a million pieces and strewn out across California and Nevada.
Could be anywhere. It could be in Montana.
That is exactly right.
It could be in Montana. You never know. Jim said, phone way gone. Yeah, that phone's not around there. I just don't think. All right. Ann said, who deputized this Sammy person? The local sheriff? I mean, really? Report to Sammy? What's with these kids? Who is really in charge of this case? I think that Sammy elected herself. She's talking about this that we were talking about on Friday, the report to Sammy. Download All Trails free app. Keep list of, it's kind of cloudy. Keep list of your movements. If you were on the highway, neighborhoods, etc. And then the third line down says report to Sammy. Report to Sammy. This bothered a lot of people. It wasn't just me. This was put up on the Monday after Kylie went missing. So the party was Friday night. Roadside assistance saw the CRV. We assume right now, we're thinking right now, that's what he believes. On Saturday, the search was kind of in, well, I guess as high as it gets. There was a lot of searching going on Sunday. This picture was taken on a Monday. So the 8th? Yeah, the 8th. I don't know whose handwriting this is. A lot of people also had the question about why were they looking for the keychain? What did the keychain have to do with anything? Because if you see where the arrow is, it says, we're looking for this keychain. They described the keychain. Interesting in the after show comments, by the way, guys, love your after show comments. Love them. So whether you come in the middle of this or you just catch the end or you catch it on the replay, love the comments. Love it, love it. So interesting theory came out, said, what if somebody was trying to take her keys from her and there was a fight over the keychain, a fight over the keys? Somebody would have surely seen an argument with somebody trying to drive Kylie and somebody saying, no, don't. I'm taking your keys, and that person drives off. Again, with this whole accident theory, you still have a party of people that did not see her leave. She said goodbye to no one. That was the very first report from mom. My daughter went to a party Friday night and nobody saw her leave. I'm begging for help.
Yeah, a lot of weird scenarios surrounding the keys. Then you have the I guess hearsay you could call it of what was it? Someone from the party saying that she had lost her keys that night, something along those lines.
Got to have keys to drive the car. Did it have a push button start?
I don't believe her model did.
No, hers is a 2013.
You still have to have keys or a fob to start it. But something interesting to think about is law enforcement never stated that her car was at the party or at Prosser. I still don't even want to call it a party. They confirmed she was there, according to them, but they never once stated that her car was there. The only thing they did state about the car was that's why they were investigating it as an abduction, was because her car was missing as well. Just food for thought.
That's a buffet of thought. Because the tweet that went out when many people were tweeting Placer County when they were taking care of things, and they said, do you even have proof she was at the party? We don't know what party particularly because there was a few going on that night. They said yes, but they didn't say anything about the car. Now we see this whiteboard. We're describing the keychain. It doesn't say keys, but the keychain. I'm going to assume there's keys hanging off the damn keychain. Truthstick said, well, they may have been looking for the keychain if there was a struggle over the keys. That's yet someone else that's saying somebody could have been fighting to get those keys. and the part of the keychain with the reusable straw broke away from the keys. You know what I mean? So she just grabbed her keys and left, and the keychain got left behind. Well, you know where she was parking, right? Sammy pointed to 3 trees and said she was over there. Well, there'd be a keychain over there. Law enforcement never asked about a keychain. They asked about necklaces and a couple of hoodies. The keychain to me would be huge. Alicia said same with the necklace.
Just make it make sense, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, because if you think about a fight over the keychain, I mean, yeah, it's very plausible that if Kylie may have been intoxicated, somebody tried to take them away, a fight ensued. But there could also very well be a situation of foul play and one person wanting to do one thing with the car and another person wanting to do something else or not do anything at all, and a fight ensued over it. Or not maybe a fight, but, you know, yanking, snatching keys from one person to another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The whole thing drives me nuts. They describe her keychain and report to Sammy, not immediately call 911. Or let's say that you don't have a signal on your phone, considering the area. You know, if they're really, really out there searching, they could be, you know, away from a tower. Well, then you go back and you find someone to help you. She may need a doctor, you know, someone of authority. Her mom, her dad, you know what I mean? Report to Sammy? No, that whole thing makes me that my brain cannot comprehend what's on that whiteboard. There's no way. Jill said perfume bottle. What that means is this is not Kylie's car. Her car has lots of stuff that road guy would have noticed. Laptop, the beanie, the bag, unless it was all hidden under the seat or something. All he could recall was a perfume bottle, not her car. So she's thinking that what he saw wasn't even her car. Could make sense.
She's thinking what he saw was not her car.
Yes, because when asked about the contents, and this is just her opinion, we just, you know, we
Sure.
discuss everybody's opinion. We're not downplaying roadside assistance guy. When she said, well, if all he saw was a perfume bottle, yet all this stuff was dumped in the lake, he could have very well have gone on a call for a Honda CRV, silver, gray, what have you, and it wasn't hers. Now, if it's been verified, as Adventures with Purpose is saying, I'm leaning towards he saw her car.
Yeah, I mean that raises so much more speculation on if it's not her car, then was it her? Of course, I think the community leans more towards that it wasn't her and it was her car. My whole point of view of the Nick the serviceman, I don't think he really looked around the car other than the immediate panel and the gear shift to figure out that it was in neutral. I don't think that he may have really took in what he was seeing outside of just that front area.
No, no. I didn't think anything odd about that myself. And I see where she's going. If all he saw was a perfume bottle, again, we go back to 10% of the interview. That's all we have. He could have easily said, and I saw a laptop and I saw this, but they chose to put it in their video about the perfume bottle. Let's see what our buddy Woolston's up to. Hello, Woolston. Oh, Woolston. Is YouTube messing with us again?
Hello.
Hey, Woolston, how was your weekend?
It wasn't too bad. It's not finished here yet, of course. I've got some a pretty interesting theory, if you want
Go
to hear
ahead.
it. And to be honest, I thought it was this guy straight away. So you remember at the beginning of it, they were saying Kylie's necklaces were missing in the keychain. So theory is they've already arrested a guy, Nate Kabakungan,
Mm-hmm.
who was arrested on the 10th of August. So that was sort of 4 days after she was reported missing. Now, there was another YouTuber last night. I was just looking on YouTube, and there was another YouTube put something very similar to what my thoughts were. And I thought, well, maybe you could be both right on that if two people are sort of thinking the same thing. Now, if Nate Kabakungan was arrested for the death of a 15-year-old girl, I think she was from Roseville, and he was arrested on supplying fentanyl and also on nefarious charges. So obviously it was sexual assault, I should imagine. So my way of thinking is, if they've not arrested this guy who was apparently at the party as well, if they've not arrested this guy and he's then gone on to kill Kylie, then surely the law enforcement are going to be held liable for it, aren't they?
Is he still in jail or did he bond out?
No, he's still in jail, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he has a bond.
Good.
So would that not be a good motive for the law enforcement to cover all this up?
Good. If he was out on the loose, yeah, I guess, they're not going to cover it up for too long because this is Nevada County. It's not Placer County. There's other agencies involved. The only thing that we know is Nevada County says to the Sun, and I'm not cherry picking the Sun, saying, oh, in this article, I think they're telling, it's good journalism, but this article is, full of it. Because Nevada County said that they did speak to them and Jagger is cleared. But and I'm sure they were asked, well, what about the roadside assistance guy? Have you checked out his story? What about Sammy? Other people have asked, and they're like, we're not saying anything more. So why was it of importance to say that Jagger is in the clear, but you don't say anything about, did other people see the car on Saturday? And people have asked specifically about Sammy.
See, I think the reason they've cleared Jagger is because they know that it's Nate Kabakungan.
In the video?
In the video, yeah.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I like your theory, and I've liked all your theories because they do make sense, and there's not so much guesswork involved. I could see it going down that road, and Nate C, because I have trouble saying his last name, has always been at the top of my persons of interest list as well. And I will just add that whenever he appeared in court the first time, he was said to have he was going to make a plea deal the following week. That was August 13th. So
yeah,
that following week he was set to make a plea deal, and then that never happened. And there's been no updates since. However, there's not been any new charges brought about him either. So
it seems strange.
You can take it one of two ways.
It seems strange when people also mentioned that he was at the party as well. Now that to me it's far too much of a coincidence.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, and I don't believe in coincidences at all.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, I think in a situation like that, you would have a third person involved, such as Sammy.
Yeah, and the only reason, like, what sort of got me on this thinking anyway at the beginning was that it went back to the necklaces and the keychain, and I thought, if they've arrested this guy for the death of this other little girl, then maybe when they've arrested him and searched his property or him, they've found the keychains on him and the gold necklace, which is why they knew they were missing, because how else would they have known that they were missing without knowing where Kylie was or what had happened to her, unless they'd actually found them.
So what would be the purpose of law enforcement throwing it out to the public about the necklace if they knew that it was in his possession?
Probably to see who else was involved in it.
Okay, that would be my assumption as well.
Yeah, you know, like, because I've been told, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not with being in the UK, but I mean, over here, our police aren't allowed to lie, but I think over in America, they're allowed to lie, aren't they, the police, in order to get results?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they've probably...
Hello? He cut out.
Put out there. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you
Okay.
cut out a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm on my phone, so it keeps sort of going to standby for some reason. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so I think so. So I think basically, I think what's happened is, like, they've either recruited Sammy Ellie, they've either sort of got her to the side and said, "Look, we want to know who else is involved," or Sammy is involved. Either way, you know, because apparently it was also said that Sammy's brother had also had drug charges, and I mean, I don't know this, but I'm just wondering if the drug charges were the connection is through Nate Kabakunga and Sammy's brother.
Oh, yeah, you're putting a connection there. And I've noticed on Placer County, not Nevada so much. I haven't seen anything like in the last week. A lot of people around that age range, I don't know if they were at the party or not,
Yeah,
are being arrested for various crimes. There's been quite a few drug arrests.
Mhm.
You can go back through their Facebook month after month after month, and you're not seeing this. So it's kind of like they're rounded them up.
yeah. It's just all weird. But to me, to me, this makes the only reason why the law enforcement would want to cover it up is so that they don't get sued, maybe, or heads would roll in at whoever's sort of not arrested this guy, and then he's gone on to kill somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only reason why I could think of any sort of cover up, really. You know,
Well,
and like I say, the fact that they put out that the necklaces weren't with Kylie, wherever she was. But like I said, how did they know, or did they actually know? Which is why they didn't want people to search in the where a car was found. Sort of, they were told, the divers were told 25 yards, and there was definitely something they didn't want to find. Which is why I'm sort of seeing now, if it goes as an accident, then to me that's 100% cover up, because it isn't.
I'm really anxious to see what they say on November 1st. And I think about what Doug said when he was with the interview room talking to Chris McDonough. He was like, we'll have to accept it and move on. But he said, we were there.
Yeah.
We know what we saw. We don't know what they saw because they're not saying anything. Let's see what UFC's up to. Hello, UFC. What's going on?
Look, I'm going to get away, so I'll let you get on with it, okay? And I'll keep listening.
Okay.
Thanks, Wolfton.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What's up, UFC?
What's up, Crime? How you guys doing?
Oh, just still trying to make sense of this. The wording that the Sun used, as in she's been secretly cremated. Well, I mean, we weren't expecting a YouTube live of it. So where did that wording come from? Pictures from the memorial have come out. Have you seen the pictures?
Not really. The ones from when the mom talked and stuff. You talking about that?
Yeah, it's on the screen right now. Okay, it says the celebration of her life, September 10th. It's a picture, it looks like, of her and her stepdad in the background. Now, one of our girls was there. She lives nearby. She said she did not see the father there. Now, she wasn't there the whole time. It doesn't mean he wasn't there early, didn't come in till late. I don't see Dad in any of these pictures. Has anybody heard if Kylie's dad was at the memorial?
I thought someone said in the beginning that Jagger was standing by him at one time at the memorial. If I was correct, if I'm correct, in the beginning, I was in somebody's room and they said that Jagger was maybe by the grandpa then, maybe it wasn't the dad. And it could make sense because the mom paid for everything out of the GoFundMe that was going to the mom, and the dad and mom aren't seeing eye to eye. She ain't gonna have her cameraman take any pictures of that guy. I mean, think about it. They're divorced. You know what I'm saying? I'm just. It's just a theory because I've heard that they're not seeing eye to eye on the case.
Okay, well, if he was there, he was there. You know, I'm sure. I wonder how he feels about this cremation. When
right there, he was there with a white dog in the back sitting with Jagger. That's what I heard too. I've heard that.
Okay, all right. Because, like I said, you don't know if he was there for the whole thing. Just because this woman didn't see him doesn't mean he wasn't there. All right.
He obviously didn't want to be seen. You know, he didn't talk or nothing, right? No one did. I didn't see any video of him speaking at all.
Yeah, and how she feels about Kylie's father is neither here nor there. He obviously loves his daughter very much. And he was the one from the beginning just not having the nonsense, you know?
Yeah, no, he seems like he got his shit together a little more than the mom does. You know, I mean, just from the outside looking in, I don't want to make no statements that are facts, but if you look at both of them and you had to say which one was probably on more of a straight and narrow edge, I'd say he would be. But, you know, I don't know that for sure, but just based off the natural eye, you know what I'm saying? He seems more of a military
100%.
guy.
Yeah, I got that vibe too, especially when he was seen at the community meeting by several people, and he didn't care about anything the kids had to say when he took the microphone and said, and he was trying to he was making a very bold statement to the people at the community meeting when he said, these are the parties your kids are going to. He wouldn't have anything to do with the kids that were there. When approached about the GoFundMe, a lady said, when I get paid on Friday, I'm going to donate to it. And he stopped her mid-sentence basically and just said, I have nothing to do with that. I don't even know what it's for.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, all the money came from her side then. She put this together with that money probably. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. The community did probably, but as in like the picture person, the photo person, and paying for those, I guarantee she did. Someone said that 47 Alameda deputies were demoted due to failing physical exams. Was it Alameda deputies or was it Alameda County, guys? Because I live in Alameda County. And I'll tell you one thing, there's a lot of water here. So I wouldn't doubt it. And everybody keeps saying that the Alameda deputies were the ones in the water. But there is no Alameda. There's either Alameda County or, I mean, that's all it could be. There's Alameda, but their police department's too small to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
What we had on the show on Friday and before, there's a Facebook post from August 13th. It's from the Hasty team. I think it's Washoe County. They're the ones that went out there. So Alameda, am I saying it right? Alameda County?
Yeah, Alameda. That's where I live, Alameda County. That's East Bay. Everybody keeps saying, see someone in the comments said it. They keep saying they were there, but I haven't seen no proof of that. And I'm from here. I would probably know. You know what I'm saying? I've lived in Kings Beach and I live in Alameda County now. I live in the East Bay. And I had no recollection of them going out there. But they might have. I mean, they have a dive team. That's probably, but I would think that the Truckee or Lake Tahoe area dive team should be a little better than, I know I live in the Bay Area, but still you have so many people that go out there on that lake and go missing. You know what I'm saying? Even just Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe in general. I would think that they would have an A1 team.
Has anybody heard, has Washoe County, because I've looked, have they made any statements since August 13th when they had pictures of them on Prosser Reservoir and they said that they were out there looking and there was no sign of her or her car?
That's either embarrassing or they know more than we know. Like Alameda County lent a boat to volunteer divers. Okay, yeah, see, that's where I can see that. They got hella boats out here. Tyler Phillips called Alameda County Sheriffs. Yeah, they got all their boats on the naval base right here. So I can see that.
Okay, hang on. Let me find that post real quick.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that they lent the boat out, Mama, and I can see that happening. They got like 1,000 boats out there, not 1,000, but they got tons of boats from San Leandro Marina all the way up to Alameda, which goes through Oakland. So I can see them letting boats out. I don't see them sending people though. How much money that costs Alameda? The amount of pay difference probably from Truckee PD and Placer County to Alameda County is probably $30,000 a year. They're not doing that. Maybe though.
Okay, Cassie said it says Alameda County on the side of the boat. Let me look at that. It looks like a brand of a boat. Hang on, let me put this up.
Yeah, they said it was the Alameda County's boat, but a volunteer team that used the boat. They let borrow. Which still doesn't make sense. You would think that the people out there in Truckee, everybody owns boats, because of lakes.
All right, so this is the Hasty team. I can't see. It's like a brand of a boat. They came from Washoe County on the 13th. That's their post, that they were at Prosser Reservoir, and there was no sign of Kylie or her car. Right, there they are.
So Instagram in chat says that Alameda had a volunteer divers.
Yeah, they said a volunteer divers with the boat.
Yeah.
They lent the boat to them. That makes sense. Like I said, that make a lot of sense. Like a group from the area.
It could just be kind of a who you know situation.
Yeah, like a group that's recognizable, and then they're trustworthy, and they've worked with them before.
Totally. But
like I said, they got a lot of boats.
It's weird.
And
Alameda County is the Bay Area. I live there. I live in Castro Valley, guys.
And I'm not confused about the Alameda County or anything like that. I'm confused about Washoe County. The post is from Washoe County. We've talked about it on the show many times. The Hasty team is from Washoe County. I mean, we're looking at the pictures that they posted. So, and they're saying that she wasn't out there on the 13th. Doesn't mean they couldn't miss her.
And it's weird. Now they're saying they didn't search it. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
They're clearly out there.
Yeah, they're clearly out there. Their post is still up from the 13th. Let me see. The Washoe County Sheriff's Hasty team, dive team, and incident management team were requested to assist the California Office of Emergency Services today in the continuing search effort for missing Truckee teenager Kylie Rodney. Today's efforts were focused at Prosser Reservoir, just north of Truckee. Unfortunately, no signs of the missing girl or her vehicle were found.
That's so weird, and nobody's denying him being in there. They're like, no one wants their hands in the mud. We didn't look there. I still don't think the car was there personally, but that's just me.
What date was that? August 13th?
Yeah.
That's a week after, though. Shit.
5 days, yeah.
It might be. Fuck, that's so long.
I think the post is from the 13th, but according to the news articles, they were there on the 9th, on a Tuesday. I don't know why they would wait so many days to put their post up unless people were just calling them all the time. Post said that's a different boat. Yeah, that's a different boat than what we're talking about. So if Alameda County said we were just told to not look further than 25 feet, well, don't threaten me with a good time. I'd have been like, and I believe Tyler talked to him. I know that Plunder talked to him. I'm talking about Washoe County. So you have one county saying we were told not to look past 25 feet. These guys were out there either on the 9th or the 13th. I don't know. The post is from the 13th. And so you got two teams that didn't see her out there.
And you're talking 25 feet. That's less than 10 yards. That's like 5 feet of water, dude. Are you serious? The car's head would be sticking out. Like, you're talking 25. Yes, like 25 feet's nothing. It's nothing. Especially like in a water that starts at nothing. I mean, I don't know how the drop is there, but obviously it was sinking. You can see it right there. I mean, you could stand up in it where he's really just look like he's snorkeling. I mean, real talk, do you think a car would be sitting right there where he's holding that line where he's snorkeling right there? Yeah. There's no way. Like, it would be out of the water. You can see the floor. You don't even need a boat to go look 25 feet there. I don't get it. I really don't.
No, it's weird.
Give me a snorkel. You can give me a snorkel equipment right now, and I'll go out there and be able to do 25 feet myself, the whole shore. You know what I'm saying?
Check it.
I don't get it, man. We're paying tax dollars for this. That's the work they're doing. That's fucking awful. I'm watching my mouth. Sorry about that. That's awful.
It's just so confusing to me that this post is still up. And if you look at their Instagram or anything like that, They have, I mean, not just their Instagram, but other news articles. They have a great record. They have a great record. And then you hear Alameda County saying that they were there too, 2 volunteer divers, and they were told just to go out like 25 feet.
They drove 4 hours to do a snorkeling job, dude. That's crazy. It took a boat. The gas in the boat. I don't get that. Like, hey, look, dude, you can't go past this line. There's no, if you think about it, both of you guys, Crime, if you drive a car in the water, even at 5 miles per hour, you can't hit the brakes once you get in. You're going to go floating. So you're already 10 feet in. You're going to start floating while you're you're going down. So you're already 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You know what I'm saying? I just stay within 20 feet of the shore. So I can walk within 15 feet for sure. You know, there's
no logic.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, especially if you're going to have people come from outside areas. Like if they're from Truckee, okay, it's 10 minutes home, right? But you're going to have these guys drive about 4 hours, get a boat from the police department, come out and look. Let's just use Alameda County, not even as the Washoe. But these guys came from Alameda County. It's 4.5 hour drive, the boat, the gas, the time, the man hours. And once they get there, you're going to say, don't go past 20 feet. We don't care if you guys got time or not. These people are probably willing to search 3 or 4 days, but when you told them only 20 feet, it probably took 1 day. You know what I'm saying? They came out. They didn't come out there for 2 hours, and that's what they made it seem like. What they wanted them to do. It's crazy. They didn't want that car to be found. Had to be, man.
Laughable. It's laughable. 25 feet, like you're saying. 25 feet? Now, why didn't they tell Adventures with Purpose, hey, look, don't go past 25 feet? And who could be held to that? I mean,
well, they may not have told them don't go past 25 feet, but they did say don't bother looking there.
Yeah, they told them not even to go there in general. Think about that. They said don't even go there.
To me, that,
and then look at this whole thing. Sammy turned down people with searchers. Sammy, the first day when she said no adults can search, then they told them don't search past 20 feet. You had all these volunteers come out in the boats. Why are you guys denying help if you can't do it yourself? That's the whole thing, and you haven't found her yet. I'd say all hands on deck, do whatever you want to do at this point, because you know what I'm saying? She hasn't been found. But I just don't get none of the search efforts unless they already knew she was dead.
And then why accept help from Adventures with Purpose? They certainly didn't get the 25-foot rule. So why accept help from them? Turn away some people. I know some people said, to hell with it, I'm going to go look anyway. And then it doesn't make sense.
I think they could control the volunteer groups a little better. You know what I'm saying? The manipulation from the police department their word can scare other people more than I think AWP was already in the water. You know, like once they got the processor, they were told not to go there and they went anyways. It was over. They were going to find it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think they try to use that tactic with them too. Don't go over there. And what do? The first day they do is they go over there.
Well, then when were we planning to get it out? Because, I mean, just a good drought. We had a local in here. He didn't come up on panel because he couldn't, but he sent me an email. And he said, with the level of the water right now, because they were having such a terrible drought, I know you were in that, they said the tires would have been visible by now. So when were they planning to get it out? If they knew?
I don't know. We just had big storms, though. I'm not sure how confident in that because it rained for 3 days in the Bay Area. If anybody's in the Bay Area could say we have big lightning storms. So it rained pretty hard. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. But I know that's what people are saying. But I don't know if now it'd be covered. But I heard it dropped. And if you could, like you were saying, Crime, if it was 14 feet of water, right, and the car is 6 feet tall, that means it's only 8 feet underwater. With that clear water, after a couple of weeks, and for 1 week, and when it drops a foot or two, you should be able to see it from the shore. Because now it's only 4 feet underwater.
That's what
you know what I'm saying?
That's what this guy was saying. He goes, none of this makes sense because in time you would have seen the damn car.
You should have almost seen it then. It was only 6 to 8 feet underwater. Because the car, an average car is what, 6 foot to 7 foot tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 14 foot of water and somebody's only 8 feet under, because the top of the car or the top of the wheels would be 8 feet under, and it's black. You start dropping a foot at a time, you're getting that much closer to those wheels. It's just unless you think it's algae or something, I don't get it. There's not. I mean, I've been there. I was just in Kings Beach. It's so clear. The water's so clear out there.
Yeah, I mean, and then go back to Steve Fisher's drone footage on the 20th. You do see what definitely appears to be a vehicle.
It does. And hey, dude, and look, you know what's crazier is that the Alameda County sheriffs, if it was them or anybody from this area, they dive in murky water. The
Right.
sanctuary and these fucking little waters in the bay, Alameda Naval Base, any of these lakes, they're nasty water. The San Francisco Bay, Oakland, right there on the San Leandro, that's the San Leandro Bay is nasty. When they dive in for cars, you can't see in the water. So I'd rather have them in the lake. In that crystal clear lake, they should have found that car in 2 minutes. That's why it just doesn't make sense.
That's
Nothing
what
at all.
she said. She said that water was really, she said it's very murky.
It's in the Bay Area. It's terrible. So I'd want the guys that are used to that kind of water then. You know what I'm saying? In the water at all times. I'd say don't leave. Stay here. If you can jump in the bay and find cars, this lake should be nothing for you.
So it seems like the question would be, why didn't they find the car? Why didn't they want to find the car?
That's the question right there. Did
That
they know
is
the
the
car was
million-dollar
there, or
question.
was it planted later?
I mean,
You know, because they did do their search. Crimes just showed it. Washoe County was there, so maybe they did clear the lake and it wasn't there yet. That's the only possibility. You know, that's the only thing I can give them. If they can prove that, then I could say, okay, but in that drone footage, it looks like there's a car in there. I mean, it doesn't look like there's nothing in that wake. You know what I'm saying?
which would have been 7 days after that search.
That's a good possibility. I mean, if it was put after, I mean, if they come out after with the whole investigation and say that car was put in after, then we'd all say, okay, you know, I understand now. You didn't want to waste time there, but I mean, if someone's offering to go search for free as a group, and you guys want to put tax money into it, your time into it, your hours into it from your office, why deny them? Anybody, even if they're going over your second, your backup. You know what I'm saying? What you just looked at, it's free. I mean, I don't get why turning down any kind of help. It's dumbfounded to me, especially when she was still missing.
Well, and for conversation's sake, argument's sake, whatever you want to call it, do you think they were satisfied that she wasn't there at the time? Because why would you bring in Adventures with Purpose, allow them to come out, welcome them? Yeah, come help, whatever. They didn't tell them no. We obviously know they didn't, because when they're told law enforcement says no, we're doing something, they don't show up. They've been told no before. So to tell them, and they've got a proven record, they find cars, they find people. So why tell them, yes, go ahead, come in, if they didn't want this car found? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's what makes me think that they put it in after, right there. You know what I'm saying? That they didn't miss it, and it was put in probably after they searched it, which, like the other viewer said, the host said it was a week after when that footage was made. So that gives 7 days after the initial search for Washoe County. Anytime at 2 or 3 in the morning, if that police department already told AWP don't go to Prosser, it's cleared. In my mind, that means they're not even watching the scene no more. So anybody can drive in there and drop that car off again, because they already said it's cleared.
There were several locals that were there during that time period and said that there was no law enforcement in sight.
Especially at 4 in the morning, 3 in the
Right.
morning, and you come through the woods, no one hears you, and they just see you. And if they do, they think you're a camper. The shit's already done. It's over to people out there. You know, the mom's calling it an accident. You get all these hippies out there that probably are going with it. And from that point on, it's going to be up to law enforcement to make the change, you know, to call it out.
Every time JPL was there was a lot of action. There was a lot going on, but she wasn't there at 3, 4 in the morning either.
That's what I'm saying. If they had somebody camping there, listen, and this is just a quick theory. If they wanted to take the car back, they have someone camping there, right? They can make the call and say, look, dude, it's clear now. They have somebody parked on the road, watching the road. They bring the car back. There's nobody out there. And once there is, they have someone follow the car in. No one's going to take the license plate. No one's seeing it. They just drive it right in. 3 in the morning, no one's up.
There's no cameras there anyways.
Yeah, there's no one there. Small town. I mean, she's got to have eyes there at the campsite and make sure nobody's at the spot you're going to drop it. Nobody's here. Bring it. They're 10 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? It's just 3 in the morning. Who's really up? They had it planned out. That shit was, I mean, it's simple. Especially if they had a back way through the woods to get there. It's game over. No one's seeing them.
Well, have you seen the pictures that came out from the memorial? There's one on the screen. There's one that's really gotten a lot of people's attention. Lots of pictures and everything. That's really pretty. Picture.
Burning Man's not near there, though. Renaissance Garden. Burning Man's way out in the desert past Reno. That shit ain't nowhere near there. And everybody's on foot at Burning Man. It's different, trust me. I'll tell you, they're not going through Truckee. No one's going. That's a whole different area. Like you're going from the desert to the Sierras. They're not walking that far. They're not even driving that far. I promise you. And there's like Burning Man's like old people, like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds doing weird things.
Yeah.
I mean, not just them, 30-year-olds too, but it's everybody naked walking around like living as like hippies. They're not doing that wrong. I promise you guys. They don't take showers. It's weird shit, but they ain't going to Truckee.
All right. So some of these pictures really got people's attention. There's a couple in particular. They just felt like this was pretty disrespectful, not only to take the picture, but to publish it. This is from Moonshine Inc. I guess it's a publication out of Tahoe. Are you familiar with it, UFC?
Moonshine Inc. No, I'm not really. What part of Tahoe? I used to live in North. It's probably South, but I don't know.
All right. So a lot of people, this picture right here, they think is really disrespectful.
Look, the middle finger, we all know what it stands for. It's disrespectful in itself. You couple that with what's supposed to be a celebration of life, there's no way it's not disrespectful.
Well, and if this is some sort of term of endearment or something like that, that's one thing between yourselves. But why was this picture given to this publication to post? What the hell is that all about?
There's a symbol to it. And what does the symbol mean? 717. There's 7 fingers there. I don't know.
Oh, you're saying that's a symbol?
I don't know. It has to be,
right?
it has to be something to do with the kids and all that, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's 7
the
fingers
first
there.
thing that brought to my mind was it appeared to kind of be a pentagram, but there's 6 hands, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or is it 7? 7 hands.
Yeah, but see the 6 are touching. It's like that outside finger threw one in. They had to throw it in. You see the 6 that are touching in the middle? Those are the original 6. It looks like.
Oh, okay.
Or that finger's just hella small.
So a lot of people were asking about this. It's on several different community posts. I think I put it in our Facebook group. So a lot of people were like, "What the hell? Yeah, how many hands are here? One."
I've been to Burning Man, by the way. Comments just talking. I've been to Burning Man. I'm saying no one will hurt nobody. Nobody's gonna walk through Truckee and hurt a kid. That's what I'm saying. These are adults going to Burning Man. Right. I've been there plenty of times, and they walk through Reno. They walk through the El Dorado after it's done. Trust me, I know their whole little route. They're not. My point is about Burning Man. These are older people, hippies that aren't gonna hurt people. They're not going through Truckee to go mess with some kid at a campground. That was my point. They're going to do what they gotta do. No one's sitting here making accusations about people at Burning Man. All I'm doing is commenting and saying what the people there are like. They're not people that are going to stop through Truckee and go to a campground where kids are partying to hurt people. They're going to go to their own party. That was my point. I wasn't trying to knock anybody that goes to Burning Man. Don't think that. You guys are your own people.
All right.
Shanda in chat says it's a religious dharma wheel.
Yeah, but then someone else said this is not any sort of Buddhism. I'm not Buddhist, so I don't know. There's 8 hands. One is the mom's. So people they were just like, this is just insane. All right. So then we have the picture taken of everybody together. This really upset people. Now, I mean, I know in my family, when someone much, 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 much older dies, it's almost like a family reunion. So you're going to see some smiles and hugs. But a 16-year-old's tragedy, this really rubbed a lot of people the way. Petunia,
it looks like she just got paid, man. That's what it looks like. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Petunia, you're not connected. It says device is not connected. This just is a bad vibe. It really is. I mean, Lindsay is smiling, ear to ear. But yet she talks to the news media. I think it was KCRA that was there. She's really put out and she's saying, we got this, mind your own business, get a hobby, the whole 9 yards. So this just is a really weird vibe, especially coming from the mom.
She clearly doesn't care about optics.
Yeah, there's something else going on. I mean, every picture she's like, "Let it go," telling everybody to let it go. It's pretty weird. Like the people that left her daughter at the party, or the people you're hugging on and smiling with. It's just so weird.
Mags's smile seems a little forced to me. Like, she's in front of the camera and it's what she's, just trying to get something out. But this is just, I'm sorry, this is her mama. This is Kylie's mama. And she's embracing the kids that, we know for sure one was at the party. She was begging for someone to say that Kylie left. Which direction should she go? Did she go? That was her thing. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. She's embraced these kids, and it's really odd. Mags, she knew before. Kate's not there. Sammy was an acquaintance, didn't even know her. Yeah, a lot of people.
There she is.
Yeah, a lot of
all
people
hugged up.
Disrespectful, and they're like, oh, they put these pictures out to get you guys talking. Why would they want us talking? She said for us to mind our own business and get a hobby. There's nothing to see here. It's an accident, remember? How come Jagger's not in these pictures?
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, that's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. Maybe we've seen a lot of cases on TV shows, right, where they fucking have the parents go with the flow. I mean, that could be a possibility. I don't think so in this, but you know what I'm saying? They have her keep the enemy close, kind of thing. She's mic'd up, and every time they want to keep Sammy close to get more information. I mean, that could be a possibility, but I don't know. This seems like weird vibes, dude. I really think that these guys are like all in it together. Like they all know what really happened, and they're all like, who cares?
Yeah.
Unless they're pushing the overdose on her, and they don't want to, and they're telling her you don't want the autopsy to come out because, they're gonna call your daughter a dopehead. And we had to push the car in the water. I mean, we all can see that. I could really see that.
Well, and then you go back to this picture, and people are like, "Oh, it's a symbol. It's this. It's that." The caption clearly says the bird. The bird. Teens backstage. Why are you putting that in the newspaper? Why are you putting this online? Why would they want to get incite to piss people off? She said, F off. Get a hobby. We got this. There's honor in silence. Why are you wanting to make people mad?
It's just disrespectful any way you look at it.
Well, if someone was saying if she does have life insurance on her, and it comes out as an accident, she gets double the money or something, or 1.5 more.
God.
I'm just look at every possibility. They can throw this under the bus, and the coroner goes with it. They're all from the same city. Either way, they're not going to be able to solve it. The mom gets double the money. The cops are like, fuck it. If we just take it, if we call it like this, you okay with it? Yep. We think she overdosed anyways. The kids probably threw her in after. She's like, fuck it. Let's just call it that because I don't want it to be a murder because I get double the money anyways. That's it. I mean, it's a real possibility. She's trying to sell the place she was trying to sell the place before for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We all got to be real here. You just don't sell something for 1.8 million while it's going up. It's only going up. Why would you sell it right now unless you really needed the money, or the place needs repairs really bad? Something.
Are they selling it still? Because there was the Lost Trails Lodge put something on Instagram that they're open for fall. It
says they're open right now. I was gonna book a room. I swear to God, I thought about it. But I don't want to get stuck there and that cold get me next, man. Then you guys will be talking about me. The UFC frog got eaten by Jeffrey Dahmer's cousin.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Dude, I was watching that documentary last night. It's crazy, man, on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Holy moly.
That dude that played Dahmer, what's his name? Evan Peters. He better if they can't find an award, they better create one for him. That was insane watching that.
Dude, I watched 4 episodes and I fell asleep last night. It was like midnight. I was like, God damn, I had bad dreams, man. I had to wake up and look at my beer can and make sure it wasn't foamed up or nothing, Looking at my girl and shit.
Have you guys all seen the Dahmer? We watched the whole thing over the weekend. It brought back a lot of memories of when that happened back in the early 90s. Dang, that was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I watched the other one on I forgot, on Prime, I think it's on first the other day, and then the Netflix one came out. Netflix one is, dude, it's dope. You guys gotta check it out, man. It's almost like Murder Mountain. If you haven't seen Murder Mountain's another good one. You seen that, Crime?
No, I have not. I'll have
Murder Mountain's in Placer County. You guys got to go watch that. It's about all the people that go missing in Placer County.
Damn.
In the Emerald Triangle, hundreds of people go missing every
That's
year.
on Prime?
It's on Netflix. It's in California in the weed community.
I'm gonna check
Hundreds of people go missing. They go pay them cash, and all these kids go up there, right? And they work. Well, they get paid cash, and the locals wait for them to drive. It's a one-way road through the mountains to get out, and they block them in, and they fucking rob them, take them, and hide them, throw them in the mountains. You gotta watch it, dude. It's crazy. It's 100% real.
Pat said she saw it twice. I just wrote it down. I gotta watch that and I'll catch up.
Humboldt County, yeah, it's in the Emerald Triangle. Murder Mountain's freaking awesome, dude. It's real, and the sheriff's like family is the people only in the town. It's a little ass fucking mountain town, so he's not convicted. Like, he knows who's killing him, but he's not doing nothing about it. So that's all about that. It's crazy, man. So many people go missing. So many. It's called Murder Mountain. Yep. So it's awesome.
I posted on my channel too. It's a news clip or a news clip, whatever, from Milwaukee News when they came across all of this with Dahmer. It's insane when you watch the earlier clips of it because they're in total disbelief, as we still are in 2022. But they said, we think this case will get nationwide attention. You mean worldwide? You got to go back and see it. In retrospect, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So it says the bird on there. So they're obviously flipping us all off. And this was given to.
Hey, that hand looks like a man's hand too. Look at it. Look at his knuckles. He got in a fight recently. Dude on the left.
On the left.
It's
Yeah,
a dude's
up in Chewy's hand. It's all red.
Look at the middle knuckle. That's the middle knuckles broke. I'm using my cursor. Whoops. The middle knuckles messed up. The second one over, the ring finger's messed up. He hit something the day before. You can tell. Look at his hand. It's tore up. Looks broken, to be honest. The knuckle does.
And the mom's in it too.
Yeah, that's her old ass hand right there, and the one in the corner.
God.
Nah, I don't like that lady, man. Anybody that just tells everybody to stop worrying about what happened to her daughter is like, man, everybody's trying to help you, lady. There's a reason behind it, though. It's all gonna come out. Everything's gonna come out here pretty soon. It's gonna be crazy. Because even like when AWP said the second theory is it'll blow your mind. That's what I think they're worried about. If they have two theories, then how are these? And the police botched all the physical evidence. How are they gonna charge anybody if no one's snitching? Think about it. If AWP has two theories, that means the police have those same two theories.
Yeah, I've started seeing a lot of calls for AWP to release the video now.
Mm-hmm.
And why would Jagger and Jagger and Sammy be the first two people searching for her when they weren't even the two closest people to her? Not even closer at all. Jagger wasn't getting texts back really at all. If you look at it, Jagger leaves Napa at 7:30 to 8 in the morning when Kylie's mom didn't even know she was missing till 9 in the morning. Was he called for the cleanup?
The 9 o'clock in the morning going to Starbucks blows my mind.
Yeah, but she didn't. But why was Jagger already on the way there for an hour and a half? It just doesn't make sense. So you're telling me her name's Leslie, right?
Lindsay.
Tell me Lindsay didn't really know her daughter was missing. She could have went home with a guy, right? Could have been getting laid. Woke up in the morning. It's 8 in the morning. She didn't tell nobody nothing until 9 in the morning at Starbucks.
Right.
So you're telling me Jagger left an hour before that because of what?
Yeah.
Why'd he leave his house? Like who called you? They didn't know till 9 in the morning. They didn't make anything up till they met at 9 and then realized she didn't meet for the camping trip. So why was Jagger on the way at 8 in the morning?
Why was he on the way, and how come? Why did they wait so long to call the authorities? Because the official, we have a missing person in Placer County, didn't come out until almost 6 o'clock that night.
That's what I'm saying. And the mom already admitted that they met at Starbucks at 9, and then that's when they realized she didn't meet before the camping trip. So that's when they noticed. But Jagger was already on the way. But so that means someone called him to help for something else. Someone else called him. Who called Jagger? Because he said the mom called me at 8 in the morning. I mean, at 8 in the morning. But the mom said they didn't realize she was missing until after the initial meet at Starbucks, because she didn't show up to go to that camping trip. Because she didn't realize she wasn't home, so she went to Starbucks where they were supposed to meet. And that was at 9 in the morning. That's why she said she went to Starbucks, because the kids were going to meet there to go camping. So she met the kids there because Kylie wasn't home. So now that's at 9 in the morning. So Jagger's already on the way there. He's an hour and a half out. Why was Jagger already? I'm dumbfounded. I'm trying to figure out, why did Jagger leave there?
I also want to know, how come the Sun, in their miraculous journalism, they say they're specific. I'm assuming they got this from Nevada County, because they wouldn't just pull it out of the air. Well, maybe, you never know with some of these things, that they know they had all his whereabouts up till noon. Well, that doesn't discount roadside assistance, because the roadside assistance guy said it was around 11 or noon when he came across the CRV. Jessica, can you read my question? Yes, I can, girlfriend. Where's the question?
I'm looking for it right now. I'm going up right now. Jessica. I got Jessie.
Down.
She didn't put it in there. I'm looking. Let me mute this so you don't hear the buttons.
I think we can hear you moving your mouse, Frog.
I know, that's why I just muted it. I realized that. I thought about it.
But I just add that we do know that Jagger has a knight in shining armor complex. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility for him to burn at 100 miles per hour all the way there, and it's only a 3.5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
No, and people are saying that the mom's timeline's off. She called him, but look, I don't get it. Your daughter was out till midnight, right, guys? And she could have went home with a guy. It's only 8 in the morning, so she called Jagger at 8, going, "Oh, have you heard from my daughter? I know you weren't out here. You were nap all day, but have you heard from her?" At 8 in the morning, like, you wouldn't think that maybe she was like, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe she called the ex-boyfriend at 8 in the morning.
I don't get that either.
I don't either.
Him for help 4 hours away. One thing if you're calling saying, "Is she with you? We're looking for her." But at this point, wouldn't you already have the authorities on it? If you met the kids at Starbucks, she's not with Jagger, why still wait to call the authorities? It was almost dinner time when they called anybody to help find her. I don't get it. And I didn't mean to get famous from this. Sammy is posting on TikTok, or someone else.
I seen that at the party.
Did you see this? Because a lot of people are like, someone needs to warn those kids.
Oh, yeah, they know.
They think this is cute. There was a reenactment done that's going around of what people are saying happened to Kylie.
Do you think, how about this, Crime? Let's think out of the box here. Do you think they called everybody to meet before they had her missing to tell the mom she was dead, and they showed her? So now they're all involved. They all knew she was dead. At Starbucks, they had the car somewhere else, and they took the mom there and showed her. And then it became a cover-up from that point on, because they told the mom she overdosed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the mom isn't mad enough right now, because even if it was an accident, wouldn't you be questioning Sammy and Mags for leaving her there with no generator, no lights? Because now we know the generator lights were took out at 12:20 p.m. Uh-huh. She was last seen at 12:30, by Sammy, so or 12:25, whatever it was. So you're telling me you left her there that drunk with no lights and no generator, nothing? Then now it doesn't even make more sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes none. And to me, the mom seems not mad enough at Sammy for being an adult and leaving her there and giving her alcohol, to the point where she's like, okay, well, I'm accepting it. Why is she accepting it? Did she know before the search? Is that why she was telling people don't search?
Well, why call? Why wait until, like I said, a better part of the afternoon? We don't know what time they were called. We know when the official went out, which was, like I said, close to 6 o'clock. So then you get on TV, which goes everywhere saying, I'm begging, and then she's saying, I'm sorry. She keeps saying, I'm sorry, I'm begging. Nobody saw my daughter leave. Nobody saw her leave. Somebody, please, somebody saw her leave.
Let me read you something, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So just grab somebody. No leaving this party. This is not a game now. Nobody can save you. Spin up all your change, and now your turn is done. We won't be afraid because we're the ones who made you. Knock you out the frame. We won't stop until you're gone. That's the lyrics to the song that's playing in this TikTok video.
What? Yeah, I can't play the song or I'll get struck.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So just grab somebody. No leaving this party. This is not a game now. Nobody can save you. Spin up all your change, and now your turn is done. We won't be afraid because we're the ones who made you. Knock you out of the frame. We won't stop until you're gone. Weird, right?
What a song to pick. And here's the thing. Show some class. Show some class. Don't give pictures of you flipping people off. Don't be sitting there grinning ear to ear at a memorial when you secretly had her cremated. Don't post things that you're on with your best life when your friend was pulled out of a lake.
That's why I think that they pushed it on. I really believe in my heart this is not what happened, but I believe Sammy and the friends sat with the mom and pushed it on her. She overdosed and said, "Look, we have the vibe, we have her. What do you want us to do with her? She overdosed. If it comes out, everybody will know." I really, really do think they pushed that on her, and then her mom, and then they told her, like, this is what she wanted. She told us she was depressed and all this, and they pushed that on her, so her mom just went with it. I could see, because her mom is accepting it too well. Crime. Look how Sammy's acting. Look how her mom's acting. They're all acting the same.
Wait, yeah, she's I mean, people are going to come after me and say, "Oh, well, when my grandma died or when my sister died and all this stuff, it took me a long time to process it." I mean, this is a different type of processing that I've ever seen.
And everybody's different in this world. But look at Sammy, look at the mom, look at everybody in the situation. Kate, Jagger, they got caught together in a room in Snapchat, right? So how is everybody happy? The whole group is happy though. There's not one. How everybody's different. We all take take this in differently. Some people be sad. Some people celebrate by drinking. But there's gonna be one or two people crying in the corner. But out of this whole group that are hugging and kissing, not one of them. Not one of them. It's crazy.
I agree. There's no remorse. There's no. It's one thing to grieve differently, but to not grieve at all. It is boggling, and I said it once and I'll say it again. The only person who showed any kind of real emotion is Mags.
Yeah, that's what I
know. She's the only one, dude.
Not even shock. That's the thing. Not even shock. Not even disbelief. There's no. I mean, the vibration is so low. I've never been able to understand it, because we're not talking about one person that's a little odd with how they portray something so horrific and tragic. It's the whole lot of them.
Yeah, I've run through all those, everything you just said there, Frog, as well, and it does explain things pretty accurate. I just think about why mom would what is the reason that mom would not want to be have anything brought to light, and embarrassment could possibly be a factor. She doesn't want anyone to know what her daughter was doing or what may have happened to her daughter if it was a precarious kind of situation.
Shit reminds me of Joan Bennett. That's what it reminds me of, dude. We'll be sitting there 20 years. Yeah, John Bonet. That's it right there, dude. They're covering up for someone else. Like, it's our, but if all the kids went to the mom and told her that, right? Said it was an overdose. Look, we have her. She's here. We have her. We got to figure out what to do with her. But I'm not saying in reality that's what happened, but the kids could have pushed that narrative so hard on the mom. The mom believed it and doesn't want the outcome to come out and everybody think your daughter was a dope head. It's realistic, guys. It's really realistic. The mom will protect your daughter over Anybody, especially if you have all these kids and the mom was really grieving at first and have all these kids coming at you and like as chihuahuas, like, look, we're all gonna get in trouble then. You're gonna do this to all of us because your daughter wanted the party, and she's kind of a partier too. The mom kind of does look like one. So she has that soft spot in her heart for all her friends. I don't want to get everybody in trouble in the community. I mean, it's a realistic thing, you know, it really is. And she just has to accept it, thinking that's what really happened. But if this autopsy comes back as in there's like blunt force trauma, it changes everything too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she could be believing one thing and not wanting people to get in trouble. In reality, it's when the autopsy comes back, it can be a whole other thing, whole other outcome, you know?
I
But
guess
for her not to be sad, it's just strange.
I guess she has it back because she had her cremated.
Yeah, and maybe she doesn't want it to come out. Hey, look at Sammy. Look at everybody for solidification when she's dancing. Watch her. She looks on both sides to make sure everybody's happy. Watch. She looks right here. She looks right. Boom, and then she looks left to make sure no one's like, you know what I'm saying? To make sure everybody's like doing what she wants them to do. You notice that? It's crazy behavior, dude. Make sure everybody's happy what she's doing.
And do these kids around her not realize that a month and a half before she was at another party where a girl died, and she's been telling anybody that'll listen that she knew everything that was going on, and she drank out of her cup and nothing seemed odd. But then in her next breath, she says she was a smart girl and I knew that she would figure it out, but she was too drunk to drive me. Hey, Brown Eyes Blue, I see you back there. Turn off your camera.
Hey, what about this crime? Her friend just dies from drinking and driving and drives into a lake, and then a week later she's sitting at a lake drinking a beer on the water.
No shits to give.
Didn't you learn the lesson? If it was an accident, wouldn't you be like, okay, no more drinking at the lakes, guys? We got to be careful.
They think this is cute. This really at this point is a game for them. They think it's cute.
Just another example of no law enforcement presence. You have the audacity, right?
Exactly,
after all that
brother.
happened.
If it was an accident like they're trying to push, and she drove in the water from drinking, then a week later, Sammy's on Snapchat posting a video of her drinking beer underage at a lake, and there's no law. They're not going to step up their law enforcement to make sure this doesn't happen to another teenage girl or kid again in their city. Isn't that important? So wouldn't that be like one of your things? Okay, this was an accident from drinking, so let's stop the underage drinking at parks.
Yeah.
A week later, same shit.
You remember what they said in the first pressers? We don't care about any drinking or underage drinking or drugs that was going on there. We're not going to arrest you for that.
Sugar Plum said she's celebrating her ego. It's a game to them. It's a joke. They're getting lots of attention. It's just disgusting. She's a legend in her own mind. She said she didn't plan to get famous from this. She loves it. She loves the attention. I can just imagine what she's telling all her new friends at college. It's sick. It's sick. Let's see what Brown Eyes has to say. Brown Eyes Blue, what's up, my friend?
Well, I never really say anything. I just kind of listen, and I love your show, by the way.
Well, thanks, hon.
But has anybody thought that this seems like some kind of a coven or an occult situation to them other than me? Or am I out there in orbit all by myself?
Several people have brought that up.
Well, I posted on chat that this seems like a coven and that it seems like it was deeply rooted in the occult. Somebody said, no, it's a cult. And I thought, no, it's not an occult is a coven. It's dealing with the occult practices and rituals and things like that. And the more I hear, the more I think something's not right.
Well, something's very, very off here. And we bring up law enforcement, which I totally get. But just like that video of Sammy right there.
Crazy.
Where's the parents? Where is the parents? We know Lindsay's mindset. We get Lindsay. We don't understand it. We know her mindset. Where's all the other parents?
I don't know. I raised 3 kids and I never would have put up with any of that.
No, most of us agree. Trust me.
And like I said, I don't really ever say anything because I don't want to start a war because of what I think. But This is just like got Burning Man or something. That what is that movie with Nicolas Cage where they burnt the effigy? It's just got some weird vibes to it like that. Anything called this.
We're all getting the weird vibes. Where it's coming from, I don't know. I don't know what they're into, but lots of people have brought that up. They're just like, I mean, I haven't heard a label yet of exactly what they're thinking, but they're like, I'm just getting some like, I've heard Twin Peaks, you know, the show from years and
Oh,
years
yes.
to a, you know, what happens here stays here, you know, we just keep everything to ourselves. I mean, I don't know.
But why? Why would they have to keep everything to themselves? Unless they were hiding something even bigger.
Why would you not want all the answers as to what happened? Because we have over 1,200 people in here right now shouting out one red flag after another. Why does none of that oddity seem odd to her own mother? We know it does to grandpa. We know it does to dad. Why would her own mother just be, why is she embracing these kids?
I don't know.
When she was at the community meeting, she had a circle of them around her and she was like just nodding up and down, just listening to them. Well, I mean, what were they trying to tell her? Why would she give something so important like, if you come across Kylie, report to Sammy?
That's crazy.
No, you call 911. If your phone's not working, you find her mom, you find her dad, you find someone in law enforcement, not Sammy.
Of all people, why would the FBI put up with that? You know, why would they put up with Sammy's the go-to? The teen to teen. Why would they put up with that?
They wouldn't. They'd be like, no, this needs to be handled by authorities, people that know how to process evidence, not these kids.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I know that Jay Woody had said something about the occult before, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only crazy one here.
No, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who recognize. I mean, if you've ever driven down that avenue at all, you recognize it immediately. And it's no secret that Bohemian Grove is not far from Truckee.
Thank you. I wasn't going to bring it up. Thank you.
Yeah. Truckee has a history of Freemasonry ties to it as well.
Oh, wow.
But you know, you start going down that path and you're going to run into dead ends because there's so much power there that they're not going to let anything leak or anything look guilty on their end.
Well, we had an issue here where I live, and I'm not going to say where it is, but it was with a witch coven in the woods doing crazy stuff, and ended up a little girl dying, and it was all over the news. But our police force didn't shut it down. You know, they didn't close it off. They didn't hide it. They brought it out. This is what we think it is. I don't understand unless everyone in that town is a part of something crazy.
Well, it's kind of hard to imagine that everyone in the town would be, but you never know.
The majority.
There's less than 17,000.
The majority, I guess I would say. Yeah. And I'm not a Looney Tune here. I mean, I'm not the only one that said this on many platforms. And it's like, I'm finally going to speak up and have the guts to speak up because it took a lot for me to do this.
No. And we listen to everybody and respect everybody's opinions, because what I'm seeing is a clique of people that seem to be very disengaged, disrespectful, and they don't really seem to care about the gravity of this situation. Jamie, you keep posting and posting and posting in here for people to stop talking. We're crazy. Are you not seeing any red flags, Jamie? Because you're in this chat. You're in this chat. We're going on 2 months since Kylie went missing. So why are people still hanging on and spending their time to go into these chats just to say, leave it alone, stop talking about it. People are allowed to have a conversation. It makes no sense to me.
Well, that's pretty much all I had to say. Was I just think that if you look deeper, you're going to find something. When they didn't want, or when they weren't happy about her poor body being found under the water, that threw me for a loop. I didn't understand that. And Adventures with Purpose did that. They did a good job. They did it out of the kindness of their heart. And the family didn't seem to be appreciative. And I don't understand that. And it's like, a girlfriend of mine said something about Mercury retrograde, and she's all out there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. And then I was listening to what you guys said about the secret cremation, and I'm like, why are they doing this?
That was such a weird thing to put in the Sun. I say print, but you know what I mean. To put in this article, Kylie Rodney. This is the title of it. Kylie Rodney has been secretly cremated as cause of death remains a mystery. If her cause of death is a mystery, then why has she been cremated? I'm going to put it up right now.
Wouldn't they need the body and the tissues for further analysis?
Well, I mean, here, this is final farewell. Kylie Rodney has been secretly cremated as cause of death remains a mystery. We've had a lot of people in here saying, oh no, once the autopsy's done, you can, release the body. If it's undetermined, why would you? I don't know the laws. I don't know the laws in California. Kylie Rodney has been secretly cremated. I don't get that at all. Like nobody needed to know. What's the secret?
Right. Do they not usually say the body has been turned over to the family for burial services or whatever?
And she was cremated when, the weekend they had the memorial, whatever.
What?
Kylie Rodney has been secretly cremated as cause of death remains a mystery amid murder conspiracy theories. As cause of death remains a mystery.
Well, is it a mystery because they haven't released it, or is it a mystery because they don't know what it is?
Right.
It's not the best journalism, but they got their information from somewhere. Kylie Rodney has already been cremated as the family said a private goodbye to the tragic teen before her memorial this month. A source has exclusively told The Sun. So we have another source. It's probably the same one that told us all about Jagger and everything. I don't know. I don't know. Tragic teen. I don't like how that's said. The 16-year-old was found in her submerged car in Prosser Reservoir almost 2 weeks after disappearing last month, and her cause of death has not been released. We knew that much, but they're saying cause of death remains a mystery amid murder conspiracy theories.
Has anyone reached out to the dad, the bio dad?
Oh, I'm sure lots of people have tried to get a hold of him. It says, and now
someone said, what about the dad and couldn't you stop him? You know how much money that'd be in a court battle for both parents? He probably just gave in, because for him to fight that, it'd be a $50,000 battle, at least 20 to 50,000 cash for each of them, and the loser has to. Well, it's 50 because the loser has to pay for their lawyer.
True.
I would not be surprised at all, considering the pictures where the camera's getting flipped off, they're grinning ear to ear, Sammy partying at college, that the body hasn't been released at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all if none of this happened.
Well, see, she's partying. That's something. Look, she knows more than us in the case. Right there, she's going, "Fuck you guys, I'm off." That's what it is, dude. Hey, they cremated the body. She thinks she's off. She was partying. It was a what do they call those messages? What do they call those things when people do cryptic message right there for you guys?
Yeah, and she has duper's delight all the time.
I'm all conspiracy right there, dude. Look, this shit just came out by The Sun.
Those lyrics
that he said.
It says they added that despite conspiracy theories, Kylie Rodney was murdered. They feel her death was an accident. So you get a hold of The Sun. to tell everybody, go away, go home, she's been cremated. They feel her death was an accident after she was last seen intoxicated at an end-of-school party near a family campground. My heart physically hurts every second of every day, the source said, adding that her family is desperate to get closure. They described Kylie as a bright young girl with a great future ahead of her, saying she was outgoing, happy, always a great listener. In response to a request for comment, the U.S. Sun, a rep for Kylie's family, wrote, the family feels they have already shared so much that they would like to keep some decisions private. Here's the question. How can they say, I don't know who had this conversation, I don't know who the source is? Obviously, the Sun is all ears. Has been secretly cremated as cause of death remains a mystery. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like a Summer Wells thing. You have your, like, with Tim Mullins and being the media manager.
And how are the Sun getting this info and everybody else is requesting, nobody else is getting it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the Sun's throwing a little bit of clickbait in there. I think they had some shit that was legit, and this is some clickbait shit right here. Look how many clicks they're getting. That's money for them right there. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
We don't know who the source is. I just don't understand if her death remains a mystery. Why was the body released to them if they don't know?
No, see, it wasn't Nevada County Sheriff's. Right there. Go up, go down, go back down. Right there, they say Nevada County Sheriff's Office and County Coroner have also been reached for comment. That means that's not their fucking statement right there.
It's not
Think
theirs.
about that.
It's not theirs, but some source close to the family whose heart physically hurts every day said that it remains a mystery, but they secretly cremated her.
They think it's an accident.
Yeah, this is a tabloid. But they're reporting what they were told.
Yeah, they're paying somebody near the family.
I'm just blown away.
I just want to see the video from the tow truck driver. We can end all this conversation. Show me that video, and I'll tell you what happened. That's it.
Right, and it seems like if this is going on like this, maybe it's time for Adventures with a Purpose to say, look, we're not crazy. This is what happened.
It says right here, Nevada County Sheriff's Office said they are still waiting for toxicology results to come back to wrap up their investigation before releasing the cause of death. So this was what was reported over the weekend, just like what I put up earlier in the show when they said they still need to know what happened. I cannot figure this out. It seems like this is a joke to someone. You want someone to shut up and go away, but you're talking to the Sun. Trust me, though. I mean, they have local news stations that are reputable that would talk to them. You know they would. Because, I mean, I put this up at the beginning of the show. This is from the weekend of the memorial. This is from KCRA. While friends and family focus on the life Rodney lived, investigators want to know why and how she died. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office is waiting on an autopsy and toxicology results, which could take a couple of weeks. Okay, so the memorial was 2 weeks ago. We're supposed to believe that Nevada County is waiting on an autopsy and toxicology results, but we've secretly cremated her. This is a joke to somebody, I think.
It's a sick joke.
It's a sick joke.
Let us not forget that the Sun is known to pay for interviews as well.
Yes, they are. Yes,
and they print lies a lot.
Whoever that Elsa person is could be giving them all this shit, dude. Think about it. Anybody will do anything for a couple $100.
I just think it's disgusting. I just think the whole thing is disgusting.
But with Sammy partying like it's 1999, she's acting like, ooh, I got away with something. Nobody can catch me. That, in my opinion, don't come after me.
Well, it's sick, literally. And what did they all, and I mean all of them, what did they have against Kylie that they just want this to go away without answers? Think about that. That's the why. Why do they want this to go away so bad with no answers?
See, that's what brings me back to the occult. And that's what brings me back to, is there a coven of parents and children? And because these are definitely children of the corn. And is there something going on that's deeper than we know? I mean, I don't know. It just seems very weird. It seems like I've seen this play out on too many horror movies.
It's crazy. You have Nevada County saying this is an open investigation. The weekend of the memorial, they said they're awaiting the autopsy results. Then somebody gets a hold of the Sun. They probably think it's hilarious and says, as the cause of death remains a mystery, they've cremated her. In no world does that make sense.
No, it doesn't. And like I said, it took a lot for me to get up here and to speak my thoughts, because I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this.
No, this is such a cool community. This is such a cool community. Everybody, we agree to disagree. Listen to theories, other people's opinions.
But I just want everybody to know there's a difference between being in a cult and the occult. And that's kind of where my head's going. Maybe a cult versus a cult.
Agreed.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Awesome.
understand the difference, and I had stated that in a prior show.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure, and I was like, well, maybe I'll have somebody that understands where I'm coming from.
No, you're not crazy, and we certainly respect your point of view.
Thank you. And I just want answers, because this is a child. I mean, my children are all grown, but I have grandchildren, and I keep thinking, what if this happened to one of my children or grandchildren? Katie barred the door. There would be nobody that could stop me from trying to get to the bottom of it.
No, I would want to know. And if something happened at the party and the kids are showboating and putting things out like she was drunk and drove in the water, and yeah, she was too drunk for me to get a ride from, I wouldn't be friendly with those kids. I would have such immense guilt for even letting my child leave the house that day. There wouldn't be any attitude like this. I wouldn't be apologizing to the camera going, sorry, and I'm begging, and then be so flippant.
What was the I'm sorry about? That's what I don't understand. What was the I'm sorry about? What was she sorry for? Not going to check on her? Because I would have driven there. I would have gone to where I knew my child was. If there was a fight, I would have broke it up. I would have dragged my child out kicking and screaming, and they would have gone home with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I just don't see in what world it makes sense that you have a cremation without a cause of death. I don't get it.
A secret cremation at that.
Just the way it's worded is so bizarre.
It's creepy.
It certainly is.
And I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but I just, in my heart of hearts, I don't feel like I am. I just don't. I just feel like there's something not right with this entire community. Maybe there's people that like the girl that lived in the community, that lived down the hill and that wasn't in the inner circle, but something's going on in the inner circle.
Yeah, a lot of deflection and don't talk.
Right.
And there's good people, a lot of good people that live in that community that are flat out pissed off about all of this.
Good. Well, they need to go to the Office of Attorney General, and they need to get this looked into. The more number of people that go and do this, maybe somebody will look into this community and what's going on there.
We don't know that anything is going on or not going on. We don't have a cause of death, toxicology, or anything. They haven't made any announcement. We won't know anything till November 1st. Hence why the secret source that got a hold of the Sun and says Kylie Rodney has been secretly cremated, as cause of death remains a mystery. And people wonder why we're asking questions. Nothing about this makes sense.
Right. And I totally agree with you. But I have a feeling it's going to be ruled as an accident and swept under the rug.
We'll see. We'll
I,
see.
I hope not.
Until we find out.
I hope not.
I mean, I don't mind if that happens. Just show me the video of the tow truck driver after, though. That's all I care about. Because, I mean, if you botched it that bad where you don't have physical evidence and you need witnesses and no one's coming forward, then just show me that video. Because, I mean, that's a tale of tales. Because if there's nothing on that crime, don't you think they have nothing then? If they don't have a witness.
Well, you would think that Adventures with Purpose said, depending upon which way this goes, they have more videos that they can show. I think at some point in time, they will show those videos.
See, I'm scared of in court, you have to prove with a matter of doubt, no doubt, right? In court.
Right.
So
Right.
if they have videos of the side of the car, something without the license plate, they don't have Kylie in the video. It's a silver SUV, a Honda. In court, it's admissible. You know what I'm saying? It'll be something. I mean, we know it's her car, but you have to be 100% for sure it's her car to be able to use it as evidence.
Right.
And if they don't have that clear video, if he parked in the woods 30 feet away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no physical evidence because they botched it. I mean, they touched the car all over the car. They let evidence fly out the car. Let's be real. Everything could have DNA on it, you know?
True.
AWP already said they're going to release another video. They've already said that was only 10%. They said they have all the rest of it. And I'm sure the detectives have it too. They said they did. I don't think that they're not going to lie and say, oh yeah, they've got it too, for them to come out later and say, never got it. But they said they're going to release it all. So we will definitely see that.
Well, I can't wait.
I understand that whomever the people are, the guy and the girl on the video for the service, Nick the serviceman, is very, very important, probably most important. But as far as having visual proof in the video that that's her car, wouldn't necessarily be needed because something admissible like Nick the services. God, I can't talk. Nick the serviceman, anything like his documented papers that he fills out for his service calls is admissible. So if he wrote down the license plate on that and it's
Absolutely
a match.
it is. Yeah, absolutely it is. And they said
I totally agree too. I think it is her car, but I'm just trying to think of what could be a reason why it couldn't be evidence. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is something so stupid where they couldn't verify the license plate or something. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of. Other than that, then they have that film. This cannot be an accident at this point, unless she was dead already, and they're calling the death an accident, but not the I don't know what would even be the crime of like hindering investigation after the fact, I guess, or
that's already been done. That's already been done. I could not believe that nothing happened to Jagger or Sammy when they were saying we're going to do teen-to-teen meetings.
Exactly.
I'm going to filter through evidence for the sheriff, send it to me.
But at that moment, they had no body. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to get him for murder, if they arrest him for something else, they can ruin the whole investigation, maybe. I really think that one of the teens were mic'd up, dude. They were already snitching when they were doing the teen-to-teen meeting. I think they already have who they think did it. Not have them, but they're gonna arrest them. But if they make an initial arrest that early, they can hinder this whole investigation if there's more ball players in the game. You know what I'm saying? If they want to get everybody,
yeah,
I think they're gonna want to have all the cards in their hand before they start playing them. They start playing a card, I think a little early, they can lose one or two guys that, could be a big factor in this case that we don't even know of. Because I think there's a whole hand of guys involved. If this card didn't go in right away, we're talking 7 to 10 people involved in this case, at least.
I agree.
Mags dropped her off and left. If it ends up being something happened, then everybody's a ball player here. Someone's playing a position.
Mhm.
You just got. I think the cops want to have everything right, because if they botched all the physical evidence, they're going to have everything perfect to charge anybody in court and win. Look at OJ. I mean, they had everything on them. They lost. So
Well,
they're going to have
and
to, you know, and
right.
plus, especially with the mom saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't press charge." Like, I don't care. It's going to be real hard to convince a jury. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's what I'm worried about.
if it were my child, I would be so angry at every single one of those kids that left my child behind.
That's me too. I can't believe she's hanging out with him. She's partying with him.
The
It
grandpa was
crazy.
on News Nation. The grandpa was on News Nation. This was just a few days into the case, and he said, never leave anybody behind at a party. Grandpa knows. Grandpa
That's
said there was evidence in the lake. We know Dad's position on it. He was furious at that community meeting. Then we have Mom, let bygones be bygones, mind your own business and get a hobby. And I've got new friends here. I'm fitting in exactly where Kylie was. These are all my friends now. Look at me.
Scary.
Yeah, and guess
Well,
where
one
the
thing-
jury's coming from? Placer County. So this, if you're saying a big cover, I mean, if they move the trial, if they end up arresting somebody, move the trial, I'll believe in it. But if it happens in that county, I guarantee you, it's not guilty.
Have to get a
One
change.
thing I can tell you is if foul play occurred, it wasn't done by just one person.
That's what I'm saying. I think more than one initially, and even after, if you have 3 or 4 initially, there's 2 or 3 after. Because to make this shit work the way they did it, to make
absolutely.
it work, it takes a lot. Hide that car, not having the water when they search, bring it back. You can't tell me 3 or 4 people that initially weren't involved were involved after. For sure they were.
At the minimum.
That's why I think it's taking so long. I think there's a trail of like fuck, and so imagine like if your kid's involved, you're a sheriff, and your kid's like the 7th guy involved. Either he snitches or he's going. That's why I think someone's already ratting. You know what I'm saying? The paper trail might be long, and they want the guys at the end. You know what I'm saying? To start throwing names, to start throwing how it happened exactly, where you're going. Especially if it's one of the sheriff's sons, they're gonna have to. You know, you would think so, unless it's the master cover up.
I agree.
Everybody's a ball player. Everybody at that party is a player.
Yeah, certainly, and I agree with that. But that's why the timeline of November 1st. Oh, we'll provide you all the information in the world on November 1st. Throws me off, because what if the investigation could take longer of reeling all those players in? You know.
Yeah, I'm really fuzzy on November 1st too. For one thing, some people were like, why wait that long? Why wait that long? And I'm like, it's not, it could be 2 years from now. I wouldn't question that because they're still investigating. But you say November 1st. How do you know you're going to have anything tied up between now and then? I don't get that at all. Some of these cases go on for years and years and years and years. I mean, hell, look at Kyron Horman. 12 years. Now, mind you, they haven't found Kyron. We talk about Summer Wells. A lot. 15 months? Nothing?
Think about it. They're saying she overdosed. Think about she overdosed. Crime. She overdosed. You got the person that sold the drugs. You got the person that threw the party. If they knowingly are an adult and allowed drugs to be there for minors. Now you got the people that hit the car for a couple of days. Now you got the people that put the car in the water. I mean, look at that right there. That's like 8 to 10 people, at least.
Mm-hmm. And how many people could have missed the car? I got a problem with that. How many people were out there searching and swam right over that car and missed it? Who could convince somebody, let's say the Hasty team, for example, who could convince somebody, hey, if you happen to see the car, just don't say anything? No. Makes no sense. Well, guys, I'm going to start shutting this down. We got another show coming up at 1:00, and we're going to revisit this again, I think, either tomorrow or Thursday. You coming back, UFC?
Yeah, most definitely. I appreciate you guys, man. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button on her for the one time. I'll see you at 1:00. I appreciate you guys, man.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate your passion, Frog.
Thanks, homie. Have a good one.
You too.
Jay, as always, thank you for your knowledge and your no BS common sense.
Always. Thank you. And everybody in chat, be nice. We all have our own opinions. It doesn't, just because someone's different than yours doesn't make them any less right or wrong.
Exactly.
Have a good day, Brooks.
Oh, see you over in Discord, my friend.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a couple of people in here that just wanted to disrupt. We ignore that stuff, guys. We just ignore that stuff. And they don't just do it here. They go anywhere they can find to try to get a rile out of somebody. We don't care. Leave it alone. If you're so sure it's an accident and we're all a bunch of idiots, then why are you wasting your time? Seems like those people are the idiots. So anyway, appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you in between shows over on Discord or in the Facebook group. We're going to be back here in about an hour and a half talking about an insane case out of Georgia. Red flags all over the place. All over the place. So you guys come back here in a little bit. If not, then I'll see you back here tomorrow morning or over in Discord. But you guys are the best, hands down. Open, honest, deep thinkers. Love it. So we'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Thanks for being the best community and best chat on YouTube. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye.